go. Bill Plaschke, Bomani Jones, Professor Blackstone, and in Plasma 4, Woody Page. What the what?
Why
Today,
are you so green?
talk. And buckets.
Wow.
And racks on. You really believe Mayweather put $10 million on the Broncos? You call him baloney.
Where is your buddy with the
I think you call him baloney. Okay. Well, that's too much. I think.
Here's Tony Reali.
Hey now. Welcome back around our man on the scene, or man on a scene, or man. Woody Page in New York for the Super Bowl. Doesn't look like a tourist at all. What's the very latest, Woodrow?
I just found out, Tony, the game is not in New York, and it's outdoors. What is that? Please advise.
You look like a big apple. Points to Woody Page. Let's start.
It's the first word.
We're going to start with this intriguing development in college sports. Northwestern football players attempting to form a union, reportedly signing union cards, a petition filed on their behalf to the National Labor Relations Board in order to seek collective bargaining rights. Last season, Kane Coulter, the quarterback, and others, along with players from Georgia and Georgia Tech, wore wristbands to support All Players United. Or Apu from The Simpsons, one or the other. What do you think about this, Bill Plaschke?
You know, I understand the gesture, and I do think players do need to be paid a stipend, but I'm not sure these guys want to go down this road exactly. For one thing, it's going to take forever through the courts, because universities and NCAAs are going to fight this forever. But number two, these are guys making Northwestern players making about $60,000 a year, plus room and board, and all that stuff is paid for. They want that to be taxed. Do they want that to be? Do they really want to be treated as employees? Do they want to be able to be locked out? Do they want to be able to be fired? I mean, I don't know if they really want to get into all this. It's a whole can of worms. I don't think the players really want to do this.
Speaking of can of worms, you said they were making $60,000 a year, and Bomani Jones went blue. Bomani, what do you have to say?
I mean, let's get past the $60,000 a year part, because that's just ridiculous. Bill, they can be fired. They can be locked out. Players get fired all the time because of one-year scholarships. Now, this is where this gets interesting, because the part of the reason for the one-year scholarship is to stop players from being able to mobilize. Players in the NCAA setup have no agency. It's worth noting right now they're not asking to be paid, Bill, so we're not even at that point. We're just talking about the idea of them coming together to be able to negotiate in their best interest, and that's what the NCAA has done more than anything else to squelch. The issue with paying players is more about keeping them under control than anything else. So this show of agency is a big deal for the players, but it also remains to be seen just what the NCAA is willing to do to try to make
Kevin Blackstone.
As Pink Floyd might sing, this is just another brick through the window of the NCAA's plutocracy. I absolutely love this. It's about time someone took them on with this sort of organization. You know, Ramoga Huma, who's been leading these college athletes for years since he's gotten out of UCLA, where he's a defensive back, has been fighting not for pay, but only really for workers' compensation and health benefits. That's what this is really about. And the NCAA has been hiding behind this curtain ever since the 1950s, when a guy got killed in a game in Fort Lewis, Colorado, and his family sued the NCAA or sued the university trying to get benefits for him, and it was overturned. And after that time, Walter Byers, then head of the NCAA, got that phrase student athlete put into all the NCAA language, and all of us have been spitting that out ever since then, giving the NCAA cover not only in public opinion but also in the courts. And it's about time that someone challenges this, and I hope these guys win no matter how long it takes.
That was a history lesson. All right, Woody Page, where are you on this?
I can't believe you guys. Well, you're talking about a union in college football? That makes absolutely no sense. Kevin, let me give you a history question. Is this the 1890s? Is this West Virginia? Are these coal miners? Are they miners at all? I'm talking about college students who do have health care. I don't know of any college where you don't have health benefits, where you can't go to clinics and hospitals and get taken care of. I can't think of any football team that if you need knee surgery will not take care of that. Bill Plaschke is absolutely right. Bo, you may not call that money, but when you get $60,000 plus in benefits every year. You're getting some kind of income. You're getting free college education. Yes, they deserve.
Everybody wants back in First Bomani Jones.
But you don't pay people with education. You pay people with money, and there are real questions as to whether under this system the true education is being provided, because the number one priority is football. Football, which puts a spectacular tax on guys' bodies. This draft season's come around. Talk to some guys on those teams about the wear and tear those players already have when they show up in the draft from what they get from playing college football. So you can try to act like somebody can eat that tuition. You can talk that education, but that's ridiculous.
As a player, as a parent who's paid a lot of big tuition checks, that is real money, Bomani. They're getting real money. So
that's
here's what,
your money, not your kids'
money.
Let
them unionize. Then the NCAA and the universities lock them all out and bring in guys who will pay for just scholarship money. They'll do that in a minute.
KB.
Just go back and read Walter Byers' confessional after he left the NCAA. Unsportsmanlike conduct, exploiting college athletes. He lays it all out right there.
Page.
You want a union? Join the National Football League. They got a union. They will pay you money. You're going to college, Bomani, to get an education. That's what the main purpose is, and they're giving you an education.
You have been covering this game for too long to believe that. I just can't believe you think that's legitimate.
As of now, you can't join the NFL without going through some
Education is money.
Period, like college. The NCAA's response, I want to get to this, that this union-backed attempt to turn student athletes into employees undermines the purpose of college and education, and that they're not employees, so their participation is voluntary. To that you say what, Bill Plaschke?
Oh, no, I think I totally agree with that. And these players do get, we're forgetting about all the players that graduate who get scholarships. They're not stars, but they get scholarships and they graduate. We forget all about that.
The NCAA tries to argue that it is imperative both to maximize profits and to keep the players as broke as possible. That's part of their plan, and it's not because of the virtue of education.
The current system undermines higher education and makes a mockery of it anytime we put pressure on people just to graduate so that they can play football and make money from the coaches and the athletic department.
You're a pre-med student. Let's have a union. Let's get paid while you're trying to learn how to be a doctor.
They're not producing revenues for the school.
That actually happens in a lot of places.
We've been having this conversation for now 11 years and 3 months. I do appreciate the energy you guys bring. Once again, we did not get to the bottom of it. It's all right.
What a
time for another day. We'll move on, though, because we have the rest of the show to do. We have a great show. Let's get to it. Move on. All-time list of arguments in this show, not just about paying athletes. You're making my argument for me? Well, that's on the Mount Rushmore. Let's hear from Kevin Durant. 41 again. A Thunder win again. And, quote, a lot of people say January doesn't mean anything. But when you're playing this game with your heart and passion like we do, sometimes you just got to sit back and enjoy it, end quote. Well, Woody, Thunder are on a run. And Durant says, people say January doesn't mean anything. How do you respond to Mr. Durant?
Well, whatever those people might be doing for a living, they don't know. He's absolutely right. Those victories in January mean as much as those victories in March or October. Okay, they get you prepared for the second and real season. And when you get on a roll, it builds confidence. You got a young team there. You want to dominate in the West. You've got a game coming up against Miami. You want to go in there and prove to the Heat that, yes, we're the team you're looking for in the playoffs, in the finals. I think it means everything.
So
and when you're on this kind of roll, I know what it's like. I've had great Januaries on this show, and it just leads you right into March.
Flagstone, go ahead.
And KD is also proving to himself as well as his teammates and his fans, and in fact, he can carry this team without Westbrook. If you remember last year when their season finally came apart, in part because of that injury, a lot of people said, well, look, he's not getting the shots, he's not getting open, he's not able to carry this team. Right now, he's able to do that, and I don't just look at the scoring, but look at the triple-double that he just dropped just the other day. This guy can do it all.
Jones?
Yeah, I mean, he could carry this team without Westbrook when they beat the Hawks by 2 points. The Hawks by 2 points. He can do that, and this has been a great run, but this is just a January run. The most straight 30-point games in a regular season in the last 30 years is Kobe Bryant with 16 in 2003. Do you remember that? Because I don't remember that.
Blaschke.
But this has been a lot more than the Hawks by 2 points. They beat in San Antonio. They beat in Portland. They beat in Phoenix. They beat in Houston. 4 Western Conference playoff teams right now. And again, they have to prove that he can do it without Westbrook because we don't know if Russell's going to be ready or how he's going to be during the postseason. They need to show it now. They're showing it. This matters.
Does anyone believe carrying a load like this right now has a positive effect or a negative effect come May and June? Bomani, you want to answer that first?
Positive, because I still think there are questions about how assertive Durant is in the face of Westbrook.
Absolutely positive. This guy's an unstoppable offensive force.
Sure. Playing all the positions he is, and when Westbrook does come back, it's going to make a difference.
Absolutely. The Thunder need to know they can win with just him and not Westbrook.
Then that's all that really matters then, isn't it? Okay. Flashkey 7, Jones 8, Blackistone 7, Page 6. We've been home. We're taking a break. Buy or sell next. Coming up. You know what they call Terrence Knighton on the Broncos?
Pot roast.
Pot roast, yeah.
You know what the NFL is considering?
Pot roast.
Roasting on pots. For medicinal purposes only, of course. Stick around.
Even better.
Buy or sell.
4 panelists, 20 seconds per answer. It's buy or sell. Both Commissioner Roger Goodell and Seahawks coach Pete Carroll with comments recently that make it appear the NFL is considering embracing medicinal marijuana as a way to take care of players, potentially deal with post-concussion syndrome. Can you see the NFL pushing this through? And how problematic would it be for the league, Flashkey?
Hate to be a spoil sport today, Tony, but no, I don't see this going through. Right now, only 20 states have, today, thank you, only 20 states have legalized, plus D.C. have legalized medicinal marijuana. That's not even half the country. The NFL works hand in hand with government and Capitol Hill on a lot of things. I can see the politicians saying, whoa, guys, back off on
Bomani Jones?
Yeah, but Bill, nobody's requiring them to test for marijuana. There's nothing forcing them to do this. I can see the league considering it because I could also see somebody considering suing, saying we have evidence this could help us, and the league took it away. But, I mean, if they wanted to stop drug testing, I don't think it would be that big of a deal, for not on this issue.
The
only problem with this is that I'd rather see the league looking towards more ways to reduce the incident of concussion within the game through rules and that kind of thing, rather than trying to give some sort of medicine to guys to help them fight through it. But I guess they'd be in accordance with the way things are going.
Tony, as a great representative of the state of Colorado, I think I can discuss this subject better than these other guys. And I want to tell you that I believe that it's going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon because there are still federal laws against the use and the selling of marijuana. But as I talk to players, and they actually wonder about whether or not in Colorado that you can do it. You can't take it out of the state. You can't take it through the airport. But I believe at some point, because of the job and the goodwill that actually has been done with marijuana for people in Colorado who have medical problems, I think we're going to see
the question
it in 10,
is, what type of challenge is it for the
NFL.
league to differentiate between medical and recreational at that point?
Right, you couldn't.
So just stop testing. Problem solved.
We'll move on. Mac Engel, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. The person in you is not going to like this, but the fan in you will deal with it. The Cowboys should keep Josh Brent and let him play when he can, end quote. Brent currently serving his 180-day jail sentence for intoxicated vehicular manslaughter, which killed teammate Jerry Brown. Buy or sell? The Cowboys bringing back Brent, Bomani.
I mean, I would have to buy it. The Cowboys have done a lot to keep him integrated into the franchise since what happened. And look, if he does his time and deals with the drinking problem that seemed to go along with it and he's qualified to do the job, I don't see a problem with bringing it back to the team.
Well, I'll sell it for the Cowboys, but what I will buy it for is for the entire league. I mean, if he has done his time, once that time is done, then he should have the opportunity to ply his trade back in the NFL. He should be given an opportunity to do that.
Well, I sell. J.R. Smith was in an automobile accident that killed one of his closest friends. He came back to the Denver Nuggets. But what's the difference here? It was a teammate. I think the best thing in the world is that he can come back to the NFL, but not to the Dallas Cowboys. Let him start over somewhere else where there won't be the same kind of pressure that there would be playing with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think we all need to take a step back here. Yes, indeed, he deserves to play in the NFL once he's done his time. But this is a guy, again, who it was ruled, by judge ruled that he acted recklessly in killing a teammate. I can't imagine them bringing him back in the locker room on a long-term basis because of this. There's just too many ramifications.
We did see Brent back in the locker room, back on the sidelines.
But this was before the judge made the ruling, before the ruling was made.
This wouldn't know who done it, though.
David Ortiz telling Boston CBS that he'd like to retire as a Boston Red Sox, but if they don't offer him a long-term deal, quote, time to move on, end quote. Buy or sell that, Blackistone?
I'm going to sell it because I don't think anybody is going to offer him at 38 years old a long-term contract. And not only that, I mean, he was great there in Boston. He's an icon. I just can't see him leaving.
Paige?
KB, you don't see teams in the league offering old guys long-term contracts. Where have you been? Of course he will be offered a 5-year deal with, say, Tampa Bay or somebody. Yes, I don't see him ending his career in Boston because they're going to want to cut the rope.
No, Woody, the Red Sox are not going to let him go. And I think Ortiz has said earlier he wouldn't play for a 1-year deal. I think after this season, there's no reason for the Red Sox to act right now. They can wait till the end of the season to see how he is. He's 38 years old, for Pete's sake. They'll give him a 2-year deal or something. I can't imagine them letting him go.
Bomani Jones.
I buy what he's saying because he's saying it in January. This is the time in a negotiation like this where everybody goes hard. So the Red Sox are going hard on wait and see. David Ortiz is saying, I'm going to need a multi-year option, and at the end of the year, they'll probably come somewhere closer.
Can you take a microphone and say, this is our bleeping city, and then leave that city? I don't know if you can do that. I'm not sure. Jones 11, Blackstone 11, Page 11, Flashkey 10. What's the last word, Bill?
I guess I got to go into my hoodie collection and pull that out for us, and maybe I'll get more. You didn't realize I had a hoodie collection, did you? Look at the shock on your face. Yes, I got one.
All right, lightning rounds next for Bomani, Kevin, and Woody. Coming up, why Jerry Jones has more offensive coordinators right now than eyeglass cleaners. Board. This one goes to 11. Jones, Stone, Page. Anybody's ball game, Woody Page, in the lightning round. 6 minutes, 21 seconds, and up and out. Marshawn Lynch hadn't really talked to media all year. There was a threat of a $100,000 fine from the NFL. He didn't show today. Did Marshawn Lynch give enough to the NFL and the media at Media Day, Bomani?
I mean, we're sitting here talking about it now, so I guess so. Look, if you showed up at Media Day planning to do a Marshawn Lynch story, you should have had a plan B, or you got something wrong with you. I can't be made to care about this one.
Blackstone.
Exactly. There are 52 other players to talk to, plus some coaches. Move on. And you know what? When half of the questions are going to be like they were to Peyton Manning, which is your favorite housewife show, enough already.
Woody Page.
Marshawn, enjoy the experience. You probably won't ever be back here again. Why not just get with the crowd, spend your 30 minutes, talk about Skittles and why you have them on the field during the game with you and sausage. I don't know why in the world he wants to turn this into
Woody, I got to ask you, you're a reporter covering,
show.
how many Super Bowls have you covered in your lifetime?
42.
Did you cover Media Day today?
No.
I think that's the answer to the question then. We'll move on. Jason Garrett. He's going to coach the Cowboys, we're told. Bill Callahan, he's the coordinator, question mark. Scott Linehan, he's going to coordinate the coordination, question mark. They added Linehan as passing coordinator. What does that mean for the Cowboys, KB?
There's a D in Dallas and a D in dysfunctional. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. You know what? This is absolutely crazy. You already brought a guy in to call plays for a coach who's known for calling plays, and now you bring in another guy to call plays.
Woodrow.
Explain that to me.
I just saw the naked cowboy in Times Square. We just saw the Cowboys exposed once again. Of course this works. This is a team that, the more the merrier in terms of offensive coordinators. They're still not here at the Super Bowl. I think it makes all the sense in the world until Jerry Jones realizes he should fire himself. They're going to keep doing things like this.
Well, Jerry Jones is rocking out this weird concept that you can keep taking responsibility away from people but not actually fire them. You've got two guys on the staff who used to call plays who were deemed not good enough to call plays. Why do they all still have jobs?
Well, time to take a little responsibility away from one of the panelists, and it appears that's you, Bomani Jones. You're the next to go. What's the last word?
I wouldn't be in the Showdown if you would institute that dress code I've been pressing for so long to bring some dignity among the rest of my colleagues.
Blackstone, Page.
What kind of pants?
Showdown next. 2 enter, only 1 will leave. Straight ahead. What it means when your wife says you're staying. What? There you go. Woody Page, Kevin Blackstone, 2 quick showdowns, and then 30 seconds of somebody's face. Good luck to you both. Showdown 1, Lala telling Andy Cohen on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live that she thinks Carmelo will definitely stay with the Knicks. Legally binding, KB?
Of course it's legally binding. How many married guys out there or close to married guys out there live closest to their mother or their wives' mothers? There you go. Raise of hands right there. That's what's happening. She's from Brooklyn. She's going to stay in Brooklyn. Not going anywhere.
Lala was talking about how, if I could live Denver, I could live anywhere. You're breaking our heart, Lala. You're breaking my heart, actually. I think that he came to New York because she wanted him to be in New York. We know that story. He's going to stay in New York.
It's a Denver man wearing an I Love New York sweater right now, too. A sweatshirt. Split the point. We'll move on. Showdown 2, Phoenix Suns, surpassing last year's win total before the end of January. What do you think, Woody? Will the playoffs have Suns or no Suns?
No Suns. I think it's going to be cloudy for the Suns. Even though they're in the position now, it's a nice little team, nice little story this year. It's not going to be nice at the end of the year. Memphis and Dallas behind you? I don't think so.
You know,
we've
showered a lot of love on the Golden State Warriors this year, talked about the great players they have and all of that. Guess what? They have one more win than these guys have. It's about time we pay some attention to the Phoenix Suns. These Suns will rise in the playoffs.
How patronizing can you be, Woody Page? A nice little team. What were you going to talk about in FaceTime, Woody?
New York being, the Super Bowl being swallowed up by
Sounds
New
like
York.
a nice little FaceTime. Point and game goes to Professor Blackstone.
Thank you very much. I know everybody's still talking about Macklemore and Daft Punk and all that stuff from the Grammys. What I was interested in from the Grammys was a sports story. Gregory Porter, Liquid Sky, Best Jazz Album of the Year. Gregory Porter, former life, he was a college football player at San Diego State. Go Aztecs. Got injured, had to shift his career, went back to his gospel roots, his musical roots, and has become the premier jazz singer in America. Check him out. The dude is absolutely outstanding. He's going to be one of the headliners this year at Newport Jazz Festival in August, their 60th anniversary, and I'll be there.
And when you listen to Liquid Spirit, what type of jazz face you making? Bob, head down?
Oh, man, you
up
just
and
got to
down,
go.
left
He
and right,
is so rhythmic. He is so lyrical. You can go any way.
I like that guy from Def
Little bit of this.
Do it, folks, on a 23.5-hour break.
I can get this back
Hey,
to the
Reed
souvenir
Greenberg,
shop.
this one's for you.
Thank you.
Catch.